Noche. This is going to be the live breakdown. We're going to be going through the whole entire card, giving our picks, giving our best bets. We're going to be looking at the lines. We're going to be just looking at different things to see exactly what bets we're going to take. I'm Randy from the Wager Zone. This is Mr. Carter, my co-host
What's
for
good,
the day.
everybody?
We're going to be breaking down, like I said, UFC Noche. A lot of great fights this week. A lot of the even fights, honestly. A lot of these fights are very close. A lot of prospects making their debuts, and just some people that might be getting dropped from the UFC as well. So if you guys are here for the first time, click that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the page, and go check out my other videos. We do Cage Warriors that's coming out later on today. Probably tonight I'll have Cage Warriors out. We did an LFA video later on as well. I'm going to be posting my full breakdown of the card just by myself, where I give you guys my best bets that are going to be in the description of what I'm going to be taking. So if you guys want to tell me, go ahead and tell me. If you guys want to fade me, fade beware, because we've been cashing out on some UFC recently. So let's turn this into some money making day. Let's get into the first fight of the night. First fight of the night, guys, is going to be excuse me. The first fight of the night is going to be the Ultimate Fighter finale. It's going to be Rodrigo, I think it's Cincinnati, taking on Danil Donchenko. This fight, guys, I watched the whole entire Ultimate Fighter. Last time I gave you guys an Ultimate Fighter breakdown, I was so hurt because the whole entire week I was on Joseph Morales to win the Ultimate Fighter. He was a plus 350 underdog. I was like, dude, this guy I believe just better. I listened to the wrong people, I guess, and I got my mind twisted to the other side. And then I ended up going with Alibi, and should have stuck in my heart because Joseph Morales went out there and made it look easy. So I feel like I tend to have a good read on these Ultimate Fighter picks if I just go with me instead of other people. Other people are getting into my head, but this time, guys, I'm going Donchenko. I think Donchenko's going to knock him out. I think Donchenko just an overall better striker. I think Rodrigo's going to try to take him down. And that's going to be his only path to victory. But both these guys are from the DC's team. DC had both these guys go to the team. Right now, Chael has a winner that was Joseph Morales, which I'm kind of happy Chael actually got a winner in there. But these guys are both DC's team. Rodrigo just didn't look that good in a lot of his fights, honestly. He's a guy that tries to grapple a lot and take you down, but he doesn't look like he has the cardio to go. He tends to get tired. Donchenko's an elite striker out of Tiger Muay Thai. This guy's striking is elite. Even Daniel Cormier saw this guy hitting pads and was like, okay, this guy's kind of different. And his other fights, he just looked like a dog out there. He does heavy hands, leg kicks, body shots. He goes everywhere with the strikes. He's not just a headhunter. And I just think Rodrigo's eventually going to get knocked out. I think this fight's going to be come down to either if Rodrigo can get the takedowns, and if he doesn't, he's going to get pieced up on the feet probably really bad. So I'm taking Donchenko, and I think Donchenko wins this fight. I don't think you watched The Ultimate Fighter, huh? So you don't really know too much about these guys.
We're rocking with the Wager Zone on this one, boys.
So now,
If you
now
haven't
let's
watched The Ultimate Fighter, make sure and go with the Wager Zone's picks because he's kept up with it. So let's
yeah.
go,
Like I said,
Dunchico.
originally I was going to pick Joseph Morales and a giant underdog. Should have just stuck with it,
I
but
know you told me to the whole time leading up to that one. So, but yeah, I'll
so
go with Don Checo on that one.
But yeah, now let's just go look at the odds. The under 2.5 is a minus 165. Over 2.5 is a plus 125. To be honest, guys, if you guys think if you guys think Rodrigo's gonna win and you're on Rodrigo, instead of taking that plus 178 underdog money, I think the over 2.5 is a good spot. The plus 125, you're still getting good plus money. And Rodrigo won't finish Donchenko, in my opinion. The only way he wins this fight is if he takes him down over and over again and just grinds him out with the takedowns and top pressure. So if you're on the Rodrigo side, I think the over 2.5 might be a better play for you. But if you're honestly on the Donchenko side, I think Donchenko knocks him out. The under 2.5 is a minus 160. Where if you go to the odds for the method of victory, Donchenko by knockout's a plus 180. Donchenko by decision's a plus 360. And then if you go to Rodrigo by decision, it's a plus 450. So that might even be a better bet, honestly, if you look at the high plus money. Because like I said, Rodrigo won't finish, in my opinion. But if you think Rodrigo wins that fight, I think the plus 450 is the way to go, most likely, for Rodrigo by decision. But if you think Donchenko wins the fight, the plus 180 by knockout is there. Donchenko hits very hard. He's knocked people out many times. He was I think it's the NISA champion out of I forgot where country it's in, but NISA, they have a really good organization, one of the top organizations in the regionals. And Donchenko's honestly just fought the higher competition. Rodrigo, if you go look at his previous fight, he fought in and I think it was Shoot to Brazil or Shoot to something. I can't remember the organization, but I just believe that he hasn't fought a good competition. He's fought a lot of lower level guys, in my opinion. And I think Donchenko is this guy, especially with it comes down to the grappling and Rodrigo tries to take him down. One thing about Donchenko, he trains with Robert Valentin. Valentin isn't the best fighter. I want to say he's like top tier, but he has some good grappling. He has some good takedowns. So I guarantee, and especially working with Daniel Cormier, where Daniel Cormier out there in Gilroy out there, he's going to teach him how to stop some takedowns. And I guarantee his takedown defense is going to be elite. If you go and look at Chapolin from The Ultimate Fighter, where he lost to Joseph Morales in the first round of The Ultimate Fighter, where Chapolin's the LFA champion. He just fought a contender series and he didn't get a contract, but he had a decent performance, and he won by knockout in his last fight in the LFA for the title. Where Chaplin's always had his takedown defense was suspect. That's why Joseph Morales was able to get in there, take him down, and end up submitting Chaplin. But if you go to his contender series fight now, after he's trained in Gilroy, after training with Daniel Cormier, you just see that. What's up, my guy? You just see that Chaplin's takedown defense was there. Like he just got looked really good, and he was stopping all the takedowns. People could not take him down, and I honestly didn't think that's how Danchenko's gonna go. So, like I said, the first fight of the night, I'm taking Danchenko. I think he does it by knockout. So, I think the best bet for that one is minus 215. You want to stay away from that a little bit because minus 215 on the Ultimate Fighter finale is kind of scary, I guess. Look
That's
at
the
a guy
odds
that
on him to win.
yes, money line is minus 215. But if you go look at Alibi last time, where Alibi, I was so hot. Like I said, I don't even know why I went with Alibi, but a minus 400 to go win the fight. And then he went out there and lost the fight on the Ultimate Fighter finale. So it's just kind of scary to pay over that price tag. So I think the best way to attack this one is Donchenko by knockout. Donchenko by knockout is a plus 180. You're gonna get almost plus 200 money. So first fight of the night, I'm taking Daniil Donchenko, and I think he does it by knockout.
Or the under 2.5, like you said too.
Or
That was
the under 2.5, yeah, is minus 165. But and come and think about that, the under 2.5, like I said, Rodrigo is not going to finish in my opinion. I think Rodrigo is a decision guy. He's going to try to take him down, and I think you might as well get plus money because John Chaco won't submit Rodrigo either. If he's going to win the fight, he's going to knock him out and maybe a decision. So instead of the under 2.5, I just think the plus 180 is just a way better. You're going to get plus money. So as right now, like I said, Danilo Donchenko, the best bet for that fight is him by knockout plus 180.
let's go.
Now the second fight, guys, the youngest female fighter in the UFC. I've actually watched a lot of tape on this girl. Yeah, she's fought a lot of lower level competition, but it's gonna be Alice Pereira taking on Montserrat Rendon. Let's you guys know right now, this is not Alex Pereira's sister. I've been seeing a lot of things out there that people are saying, "Oh, Alex Pereira's sister is gonna come into the UFC." No, she's not. That's Eileen Pereira. She's 1-3 in her MMA career. She only has a win against a low level karate combat girl and before. So not Pereira's sister. A young phenomenon, young prodigy coming up. She's been fighting for a long time. She says, "Mommy Pereira," but but basically, her striking is elite. I think the only way that Rendon can beat her is if Rendon uses that grappling game, tries to take her down. But I've seen Alice Pereira train with a lot of the best girls out here. She's training with a lot of a really good camp. She's been stopping takedowns. She's been, like I said, her striking is levels above Rendon. Rendon's not going to have the speed to keep up with her. Rendon is like 37 years old now. She's on her way out of the UFC. Alice Pereira, I just believe this is one of those spots. Dana wants Pereira to win this fight. She's 19 years old. She's one of the young prodigies coming into the UFC, and I think Dana kind of matched her up really well in this one for her to come out here and get a victory. Originally this week, guys, I was going to say Pereira was my lock of the week, but with it being a woman's fight, with it being a girl that's 19 making her debut, it's kind of scary to say that's going to be my lock of the week. But I'm really high on Pereira this weekend. I believe in her. I think she's going to have all the skills to win this fight. So the first fight of the night, I'm taking Alice Pereira. And do you have an opinion on this one?
I told you, and the only thing that I really have about this one is it's just hard to bet somebody that young, and not super experienced. And like the other girl is like, I would think Like, if you look at anybody, a 19-year-old and a 37-year-old or whatever, the 37-year-old's gonna be stronger, and for a women's fight, I don't like that because she can like you said, if she is a takedown person, I feel like she's just gonna try to hold her, you know? So it's like, that's the only thing I would be scared of. I wouldn't be putting the house on her, like you said, I would probably take her to win just because, she's probably the younger more talented fighter, but that's a hard spot, you know, and for being the youngest fighter ever to fight in the female division. So,
So if you had to make a pick, I don't think you really know too much about them, but you're just more of saying you're probably are you gonna make a pick on this one, or are you more just saying it's
no,
kind of just
I wouldn't
stay
have.
away from it?
Yeah, I would probably more stay away from it just because the person that everybody thinks is gonna win is 19 and probably not the super experienced fighter. So,
Yeah, I think like he says Rendona is trash. I mean, I don't want to say she's trash, but I just say she's old. She's not as experienced. And Alice Pereira, like I said, the striking levels. Go watch some tape on this girl. This girl has combinations going to the body, going to
yeah,
the
you
head.
said
She
she
has
looks
good
really
leg
good.
kicks. She's just
So,
an all great striker. And if you go look at the odds, Alice Pereira's a minus 150 to win the fight. I'm not gonna lie. Look, when I saw this open up, when I saw the fight, I thought Alice Pereira was gonna be like a minus 220, minus 230. I thought it was gonna be more of a favorite, but I feel like a lot of money has came in on Rendon just because a lot of people are seeing how you're seeing it a little bit. Like she's 19. She's going up against a girl that's probably going to be stronger than her. That's going to try to take her down. Her takedown defense, yeah, she's fought a lot of low level competition
and
leading
because it's
up.
women's MMA, that's
Yeah,
usually how those type of fights. They're slower paced, you know. So,
yeah, and I feel like a lot of money's came in on Rendon, but like I said, I'm high on Pereira this weekend. I was gonna
sounds
say
like a good line
she
though.
was gonna be my lock of the week, but I don't know if I'm gonna get there just because, like you said, it kind of scares me. I don't want to bank my bankroll where I'm gonna be the most confident in a 19-year-old that's also a women's fight. I've got
I
burned
feel
on
like
women's
there's
fights.
better spots on this card to take as your main pick, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot more
But a
different
good
spots on
parlay
here.
piece or something, or a good little wager on her would be something
hmm
cool, you know.
I would say the best bet, honestly, for this one is already the money line, minus 150. You're already getting good price tag on that, so the minus 150 might be the best bet. I see the over 2.5 at a minus 285. That I don't I see a lot of money. People think it's gonna go to decision. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it goes to decision. I think Alice Pereira knocks her out. I think if she can stop the takedowns and Rendon's forced to stand with her, Alice Pereira is eventually gonna knock her out. She's gonna land so many combinations, different strikes on her. I think she eventually puts her away. So
What's her by knockout?
her by knockout's a plus 420.
Hmm.
So you're gonna get a giant
Yeah, if you're
price
gonna
tag on
do
her
a
by
small
knockout.
wager on the money line and you think that she's gonna win and you're backing her, I'd just go put the knockout. I mean, a lot of people will probably don't think girls are gonna knock people out,
Mhm.
but it's
Especially someone
just
that's 19.
but I mean, like you said, if she's the better striker and she can stop the takedown, she probably might knock her out. So, and she's older, which means she might gas. So,
Yeah, she might even gas out, all those takedowns. So I mean,
I
I
could
think
see
a
it. I
lot of
could see it.
people.
If I was gonna throw $20 on the minus 150 or $50 on the minus 150, might as well just go put 20 or 50 on the plus 420.
Yeah, like I said, if she can stop, yeah, if she can stop her in those takedowns, she will knock her out. Like that's how I feel. Like if she's forced to stand, she'll put her away. But like I said, those are the two best bets I have for this fight. You either take Alice Pereira by on the money line at a minus 150, or you just if you want a big price tag, want to put something small on the fight, you don't want to put too much of an investment in it. Go take that plus 420. Plus 420 is a high number, especially for a woman's fight, because a lot of people don't think women are gonna knock people out. So you're gonna get a good price tag on that one. So
Yeah, it's gonna
that
be a risk it bet, and then you don't really like a risky bet, but you don't have to put too much or something, you know. So that'd be a
yeah.
good spot. I might even do that to be honest. You know, I like those spots. So
Yeah, so I think those are the two best bets for that one. Minus 150 on the money line, probably the easier one. But if you think she's gonna knock her out, kind of like how I do, you don't want to put too much of an investment. The knockout prop at plus 450 is the best
before we
one.
move on, real quick, I just can you double check what does $20 win you at plus 420? Can you put it in and see what it wins you real quick? I know we
I,
gotta
I would
move
think it.
quickly here.
I think it'll be what like $90. Let me see,
Yeah, I was
Eight-
thinking like
80,
a
84
yeah, that's not bad.
$84 off of 20. So something small, put something small on it, and $20 you get like 84 or $84 back. That's not bad at all. So
Turn
yeah, like
20
I
into
said,
100 real quick, baby.
yeah. And now the next fight, guys. Alexandro Costa taking on Aiden Correa. This is the biggest favorite on the card. He's a minus 430 favorite. I think he's the biggest favorite in the card, unless the Tatiana Suarez is now the biggest favorite on the card. Before,
Yeah.
Costa was the biggest favorite on the card, but a lot of money came in on Tatiana. But Alexandro Costa, biggest favorite on the card. Honestly, just watching tape, I'm not lying. I just think the line is way off. I think it's going to be a lot more closer than people think. I'm taking Korea. I think he might be a good underdog to take. It's a plus 320. I'm not going to put too much an investment in it. It's not like I'm coming out here and saying he's the underdog of the day or he's going to be my most confident underdog in Korea. I just like mainly I'm kind of basing it on the tape where if I was to line this fight, I'd probably have Costa somewhere around like that minus 185, minus 200 area, but then I see a minus 430 price tag, and you're going to get plus 320 on a fight that I think is going to be a lot more competitive. I think Korea comes out here and honestly wins the fight. I think he has a good chance of winning this fight by, I want to say he can win this fight by knockout, or he can even go by decision. But I think Andy Korea is going to stop a lot of the takedowns, keep this fight kind of standing up. And I do believe that Korea keeps this fight standing up because that's the way Costa's going to try to win this fight. Costa's going to try to come in there and take him down. I don't think he's going to be able to strike with him. And maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think Korea is overall a better striker. And if Costa can't get him down, we're going to see a dogfight, and we're going to see, honestly, a really good back and forth fight. And I just like the camp that Korea trains with. He trains with a lot of great boxers. He has Michael Aswell over there, Joshua Van, a lot of good coaches. He's been training with them forever. I
He's in
thought,
over there with them and stuff.
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of things Michael Aswell's been posting. If you guys know, I did an interview with Michael Aswell. I still chatted
We're
up with
big
him. A
fans of Michael Aswell now, you know.
Yeah, I
So
message him every once in a while. He messages me back. I send him a message the other day. I said I think Korea might be a good underdog spot, and he says bank on it. And because of course he's going to say that mainly because that's his training partner, but I just think it's a good spot to take. Like if if he keeps this fight standing up, Korea keeps this fight standing up, and Costa can't take him down. I'm gonna take the guy that has a better boxing gym. A lot of these guys out of there, like Joshua Van and Aswell, they're dogs. They throw really good strikes. They take a lot of good punishment. So
yeah, and people don't know who they are until they like kind of like make their name for themselves. Like,
mhm,
because people are counting Van out like for a while, like for a lot of fights before he all of a sudden like got big after all of a sudden, you know, like got a
yeah,
good win and he kind of stepped up, took that fight, and then that's what made
a lot of
everybody
people
know him.
a lot of people were on the Roy Vol side for that fight. A lot of people were on the Roy
Oh,
Vol
for
side,
sure.
but then
But
Van went
even
out
just
there.
in general, just like before those fights, like we had been watching him leading up to like to the Roy Val fight, which is why we took him on that fight, you know? But it was like, oh, bro, I feel like there it's a camp full of sleepers, you know? There's
Mhm,
some sleeper people in that camp, you know, that people don't
yeah,
really know a lot about and like kind of count out until you shouldn't, you know? So I feel that way.
yeah.
I feel that.
So that's gonna be the pick. I'm taking Korea. If I look at the odds, honestly, I think there's only two bets you can make. But I think the money line's already good. You're getting a plus 320 price tag on him. So I already think that price tag is that's already. I think that's already a good price. Honestly, I think plus 320 Korea on the underdog spot. I think that's a good line. If you guys want some big money on this, you guys want to put. I mean, not big money. If you guys want a big price tag on this, Korea by knockout to plus 700. So this guy could come in here, and I think if he does win this fight, it's probably going to be by knockout. I think if it goes to decision, that means the fight kind of went towards Costa's way, where Costa was able to take him down a couple times. But I feel like if this fight stays on the feet for longer, you're going to see Korea eventually land that kill shot and put him away. So those are my two best bets. The best bet for this one already is with that 320 price tag. Plus 320, might as well just take that. But if you want a giant more price tag, plus 700 on Korea by the knockout. So, but like I said, nothing I'm really confident in, but I'm banking it on the guys he trains with and how good he looked in the tape. I just think the odds are way off. So if I put it this way, if Costa was like a minus 120, minus 130, and it was almost a pick 'em, I might be putting some money on Costa. But just with seeing that plus 430, I mean minus 430, I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. So give me Korea. I think Korea comes in here and wins this fight. And like I said, I think he does it by knockout. Now the next fight, Zachary Reese against Cendric Dumbass. Like I said, guys, yeah, he's dumbass. I don't like this guy. I don't think if you're an MMA fan, you don't like this guy at all. But I am taking Zachary Reese. And I think Zachary Reese honestly comes in here and makes it look easy. I think Zachary Reese is going to take him down and then submit him and then probably send him to the hospital. Then he's going to have to use that $16 in his bank account, the rest of his money, to go out there and pay some bills a little bit. But I think I think Zachary Reese wins this fight pretty easily. Like, I don't see a way Dumas wins this fight. I think if the only way, I guess, is if he keeps the fight standing up and maybe tries to knock out Zachary Reese. But I think Reese is going to just take him down and end up submitting this guy. Cedric Dumas does not have a good takedown defense. He does not have grappling whatsoever. And I do believe after this, he's going to probably get dropped from the UFC. And after he gets dropped from the UFC, especially with him not having that much money, he's probably going to go out there and do another armed robbery and get caught and go to jail again. So give me Zachary Reese. I think he wins this fight. And like I said, the only argument I've ever heard anybody tell me for this fight, and anybody that's on the Dumas side, this guy's going to be on the Dumas side. I'm pretty sure he's going to be. But the
No, I'm
only,
not on no side, but I'm not betting against somebody that has $16 in their bank account.
like I said, the only argument I've
Nope.
ever heard anybody, I've seen few people that's on Dumas this weekend. And the only argument I've ever heard anybody say, no one said, oh, I think he's a better striker. No one's saying, oh, I think he can stop takedowns or he can grapple or he's going to go. All I'm hearing is, this man has $16 in his bank account and he's going to come out there and fight for his life. And I'm like, what do you think Zachary Reese? People don't think Zachary Reese is out there fighting for his life too. Like, this man wants who care? I don't care if he only got $16. Like, Zachary Reese might only have $1,000 and he wants to make a little bit more money. Like, but so I think Zachary Reese wins this fight. I think he does it by submission. So do you want to say anything about this one?
No, not really. Nothing too
You,
crazy. I said I just don't think it's a low level fight, like in general. Like I don't think either of them are really really good, and so it's like just like I said, I wouldn't bet against the dude that has no money in his bank account, but I wouldn't bet on him to win. I wouldn't bet on Zachary Reese. Like just like almost like the one with the 19-year-old girl. Probably just a no bet for me. Just a place to sounds like the one to not bet on. That's what it sounds like.
yeah. But like, yeah, I just like I said, first of all, like one thing is I don't like Dumas at all. Like I faded him so many times. I think I bet on him one time, and I think he won the fight. So I think I got that. I can't remember what fight I actually did pick him to win. I think it was earlier in his career, and I picked him and he won. But besides that, I faded this guy all the way, and I won some money fading him. So I'm gonna keep fading him. Like I said, I think he's gonna be dropped from the UFC after this. Like, I don't think he's been training at all. Like, this man has had an ankle monitor on him. He's been in and out of jail. He doesn't show up to training camp. Phil Rowe had an interview with Phil Rowe's like, bro, this dude needs to get his shit together because he's not even showing up to train anymore. So I just think everything is better. Amidst them. So let's go look at the odds. Minus 230 on Reese. That price tag is not playable, in my opinion. I honestly don't play any money lines that are anything over minus 220, unless it's like Ilya Taporia. That's a minus 220 against Bryce Mitchell. I'm hopping all over it. But if it's anything like this, especially minus 230 price tag, that price tag is not good unless you want to parlay him with somebody. You want to put Reese in there with a different parlay, like you're confident in somebody else, maybe add him to a parlay. But the best spot I see for this fight, if you want to make a straight bet on it, is Zachary Reese by submission. Zachary Reese's grappling is just way better than Dumas. Dumas has been submitted a couple times already in his career. He doesn't have the grappling at all. And I honestly, like I said, I don't think he's training that much either. I think Reese takes him down pretty easily and then ends up submitting him. So that price tag on this Zachary Reese by submission is a plus 285. I think yesterday I checked it out. It was a plus 300. So a little bit of money has came in and brought that price tag down to a plus 285. But unless you're parlaying Reese with somebody, I think the only way you can attack this fight, just a straight bet probably, is going to be Zachary Reese by submission. Because I think that's the way he does it. And the knockout's a plus 160. So I think a lot of people think he's going to knock out Dumas. I I don't think unless he's the ground and pound, I don't think he's gonna be able to like knock him out on the feet. I think the method of victory, like I don't know, if I'm the coach, I'm gonna come in here and be like, take him down right away. I know you want to try and knock him out. I know he's a woman beater and you want to beat him up like he's done before. But just take him down, choke him out, put him to sleep, end his UFC career. So that's gonna be my pick for that one. I think it's Zachary Reese. Best bet is a submission at a plus 285. Now, next fight, guys. Jesus Santos I can't even pronounce his last name. Aguilar. Yeah, Jesus Aguilar taking on Luis Gorelli. This one, guys, I'm probably not that confident in this one either because, like I said, like This is a low level fight to me, honestly. I think both these guys are very low level. I think if it wasn't UFC Noche, I think this would be a fight that might be on a different card. But they wanted to get some Mexican fighters on here, so they put Jesus Aguilar on here. But I'm gonna be taking Luis Garelli. I'm not confident in it at all because I think both these guys are very low level, and I see a minus 195. Garelli was a minus 210, so I've seen the price tag came down a bit because money is coming on Aguilar, and I understand it. Aguilar is a Mexican fighter that's going to be fighting for UFC Noche. He's going to be out there trying to. But one thing about Aguilar is Garelli's going to try to take him down. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to take him down. And Garelli's going to try to get the top control. And one thing I just don't like about Aguilar, yes, he gets it sometimes, but he pulls guillotine way too much for me. When they get a double leg, he tries to seek in that guillotine and he just accepts it. And if he doesn't get it, now he's on the bottom and he can't get back up. So I just don't like betting on those guys. When their method of victory is a guillotine. I'm pulling Gilly, and then he's just going to try to get him by that. But I think this is very low level. It's probably going to stay away from it. I'm on the Luis Garelli side, but honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you're on the Garelli side and you think he's going to win this fight, I think the best way to attack this fight is going to be the fight to go to decision. Just in case he comes out there and loses it, the fight to go to decision is a minus 145. And I think that's what it
Not
goes.
too bad.
I think it's eventually going to go to the scorecards. If you think Aguilar is going to win, I think the only way Aguilar wins this fight is by submission. Like I said, he's going to pull the gilly and he might even get it. But Aguilar by submission, a plus 600. If you think he gets that gilly and he's going to pull it and he's going to end up getting that choke, plus 600 is a great price tag on him because it seems like a lot of people think this fight is going to decision. The over 2.5 is a minus 175. So, like I said, I'm not gonna put any money on this. Probably, like if I am, it's gonna be on the decision, the fight to go decision. I'm probably not gonna, I might not bet it, but we'll see how I get to it. But I think that's the only way you bet this fight, the fight to go to decision. Unless you're on the Aguilar side and you want that plus 600 price tag, that might be another spot for you. But do you have anything to say on this one?
I told you I don't really know the Gruelli dude, but I like Aguilar and I like his style of fighting. I like the way he fights. Like he's not the most technical fighter, I would say, but he's got some good striking. He pushes forward. He's a gritty fighter, and you know me, I like those gritty fighters, the ones that are gonna fight for your money. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I don't know the Garelli dude, so I wouldn't tell you heavily to take Aguilar, just like you kind of said with the Garelli side, but I would definitely lean Aguilar, just in my like fandom, But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, nothing too crazy. I would just pick I would think he wins standing up. Like I would think it goes to decision and he just outpoints him. He does, even if he pulls the guillotine and he does end up on bottom, he's a gritty fighter. I would see him getting back up. So that would be the only little bit of counter I would have to what you say, but I wouldn't be confident in it at all. So
Yeah, I totally think that fight. That's a fight just to stay away from. Like that is two fighters that are very low level. Like I said, if it wasn't UFC Noche, they'd probably be on like another like a lower level card. But give me Garelli. I think Garelli wins by decision. But like I said, the best bet's probably the fight to go to decision, in my opinion.
flyweight fights go to decision a lot, and then I was gonna say that about that Costa and Korea fight too. Is they're both flyweights. Both of those matches are flyweights, and it would be one that I would think both of those end up going to decision. So
Yeah,
just because a lot of flyweight fights go to decision, not too many knockouts, just like the women's because they're smaller people.
yeah. Well, speaking of women's now, we're getting into
Yeah.
the biggest favorite on the card. Tatiana Suarez taking on Amanda Lemos. This Tatiana Suarez is minus 500. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think that's a great parlay piece. I think she comes out here and wins this fight pretty easily. Like if you're high on Reese, put Suarez in a parlay with Reese. Like if you're high on anybody else, you want to get that price tag down. I think Suarez is a very good parlay piece. I think Amanda Lemos is getting up there in age. She doesn't have the athleticism anymore. Her takedown defense has been showing a little bit of like she has decent takedown defense, mainly because she's just strong. But when she's getting to that 40-year-old age, I don't think she's gonna have the athleticism to stop Tatiana. Tatiana just strong, man. Tatiana was able to take down Zhang Wei Li. She went out there and won the first round against Zhang Wei Li, but after that Whaley just took over the fight, but Whaley's the best. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Whaley is just the best, and I don't know if anybody can beat Whaley besides Rose landing a crazy head kick to knock her out. But besides that, I just think Tatiana Suarez is just a way better fighter than Amanda Lemos. I think Tatiana takes this fight down to the floor. If this fight's gonna be on the floor, like I think so, I think Tatiana's eventually gonna get that submission. So like I said, I'm worried on Tatiana. I think if Tatiana gets the fight to the floor, she's going to finish it. I don't think it goes to decision. But parlay piece Tatiana minus 500. I think she's a good parlay piece. Probably, like I said, she's probably going to be my lock of the week plays because I'm really high on her, and she's from the same area I'm from. And I want this girl to do good. I root for her a
Yeah.
lot. I root for her, so I root for her a lot. And I think I want her to win the fight. And the submission prop plus 140. If you just want to take a straight bet on this one, and if you're a prop person, if you don't like parlaying minus 500 or anything, the submission prop's a plus 140. And I do believe this fight does not go to decision. If you look at the odds for the over and under 2.5, the under 2.5 is a minus 135. So it seems like a lot of people, if you ever see a minus on the under in a women's fight, that says a lot because that basically means people don't like. Most times you're on the over 2.5 to under 2.5 on women's fights, you're going to see a price at like a minus 200, minus 250, a minus 300. But now you're seeing the under is actually the favorite in this woman's fight. Should tell you something a lot that a lot of people don't think this fight's going to decision. I think if, like I said, if Tatiana gets her down, she's going to submit her. Amanda Lemos, her takedown defense is good, but once she's on the floor, she tends to scramble. And I think if she tries to scramble against Tatiana, Tatiana's just going to end up taking her back or getting an arm triangle or something because you can't scramble against an elite wrestler and a grappler like Tatiana. So give me Tatiana minus 500 parlay piece, and then that plus 140 if you want a straight bet by the submission.
Yeah, everything you said is what I'd have on this one. I mean, I think that's probably the one of the better picks of the day out of everything. You know me, fade old fighters. Um, the the fact that Lemos is just over the hump, like I ain't sure. Maybe I mean, even if I don't even think Lemos at her prime could probably beat
I
her.
agree.
So I just don't know how that goes to her at all, you know? So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have Tatiana.
Okay, guys. Like so, next fight. Like I said, we're both pretty high on Tatiana this week. Like he said, I agree with exactly what he said. I think Amanda Lemos at her prime age doesn't beat Tatiana. So her at 40 years old, I don't think beats Tatiana. So
The sub would be like the way to go, like you said, because she's gonna take her down. But the only thing I would be nervous about is like maybe just take that under 2.5 because it
because the
is
club, she's going to take ground
like
and
I
pound it,
could see her getting full mount, and she's a heavy girl. Like
or just taking her
Tatiana's a
back and
little,
just
and just
flatten her out. Yeah.
dog it, and like I could see her dogging her. So
Yeah, the under two
if
and a half might be actually better, like you said, because minus 135 is not
because
bad
even
either.
if Lemos is to win this fight, the way she's gonna win is she's just gonna like knock her out or something, or like some
Yeah,
crazy from
she
the
won't beat.
bottom
Yeah,
submission, or
yeah, she won't beat
like
Tatiana in a decision.
she's not. It's not good. If
Decision. Yeah.
yeah, so
So yeah, we're both on the same part in that one. Next fight, guys, another low level fight that I'm probably gonna stay away from as well. But I got the underdog in this one. It's even money. Money's came in on him because I've seen it bounce around. I've seen this guy at a plus 130, then to a minus 110, now to down to plus 100. It's gonna be Claudio Puelles taking on Joaquin Silva. I'm taking Joaquin Silva, and I think he knocks out Puelles. I personally just don't like Puelles. I think Puelles is not that good of a fighter. I don't know. Like Puelles had a decent run in the UFC. Like he was winning some fights. Then it started when he started taking the better fights, he started losing. And if he's gonna try to take this fight down to the floor, that's what Pelos is gonna do. He's gonna try to take him down. But Joaquin Silva, he's not that good of a fighter either. But the one thing he does have is strength. Kind of reminds me, not on the level of him. I'm not saying he's good as this guy, but it kind of reminds me of RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez. Where Gregory Rodriguez doesn't have the best takedown defense, but he stops takedowns with just brute strength. And I just think that's what Silva is gonna do. Like Silva's way stronger than Puelles, and if Puelles can't get this fight to the floor, I think Walking Silva is eventually gonna land that kill shot and knock out Puelles. So I don't have too much to say on this one, honestly. Like I said, I think it's more me fading Puelles because I'm just not a fan of him. I don't think he's that good. Walking Silva, I seen him go in there. I know it's I know this guy's old. I know this guy's like 40 something years old at this point. He's probably washed, but that's how I feel about Puelas. I think, well, I was going to say is Clay Guida. Silva went out there, stopped all of Clay Guida's takedowns, and put a beating on Clay Guida. I know Clay Guida's so old, but Puelas, if you ask me who's a better wrestler, even at their age today, I think Clay Guida is a better wrestler than Puelas. And I think that Puelas is not as a dog that Clay Guida is. He can't take that punishment. He can't take those hits that Clay Guida can. So I think if Silva hits Puelas with any of those shots that he hit Clay with, he's going to put him away. And I do believe that Puelas is not going to be able to take him down. So I'm taking Joaquin Silva. He's plus 100. I'm taking a slight underdog. So like I said, I don't have too much else to say on this one, but I have Joaquin Silva plus 100 on the underdog money. If you think he does it by knockout like I do, Joaquin Silva by knockouts a plus 450. So, and Joaquin Silva by decisions a plus 240. So, I'm probably just going to take the money line. I think that's the best bet for this one is something probably not, like I said, I'm not confident in it, probably not too much of an investment in it at all, but I think Silva's the pick and I'm going to probably take the money line on him if anything.
Yeah, I'd probably stick with what you said on this one too. Like I said, I don't really have the best read on this one. Joaquim Silva's fought a lot of people, and probably the better experienced fighter. That's the only thing I could say about that. But it's just, yeah,
It's
I
low
don't have
level.
nothing, nothing to. I'm not gonna bet nothing on this one for sure. So.
Yeah. So now the next fight, guys. A guy I'm very high on this weekend. I'm gonna put him in a parlay with Tatiana Suarez, and then maybe find one more fight to put in there because I'm really high on this guy. Because I think you can put them together. If you put him together with Tatiana, I'm speaking Dusko Todorovic guy. He's fighting Jose Medina. Jose Medina is horrible. Like when I say horrible, I mean this guy's horrible. Like so, I if you put them together, that's a minus 203. And I'm probably going to add one more piece to that just because I don't want to take a minus 200 on a two leg parlay. Like and subscribe, everyone. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate you modding for me. Like and subscribe.
Woo!
Yep. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. And but I'm taking Dusko Todorovic. I think Dusko Todorovic wins this fight easily. And honestly, the way I think is Todorovic submits him. That's the way I'm thinking. But Jose Medina is horrible, guys. Like if you guys remember how Jose Medina got into the UFC, he was in Contender Series, I think a couple years ago. I think it was a couple years ago. It wasn't last year, I don't think. It was a couple years ago. Jose Medina went out there and got beat up. I'm talking about like beat up. He like looked horrible in the Contender Series. And then Dana says, this guy could take a beating. I like him. He's tough. I'm going to sign you to the UFC. What kind of shit is that, guys? Like, you get beat up, and then you're just like, oh, I'm signing him to the UFC because he got beat up and he can win a fight. Like I said, I don't know what's going on there. I think Medina's horrible. I watch a lot of LFA. I watch a lot of Cage Warriors. I don't think Medina wins a fight in LFA. I don't think he wins a fight in Cage Warriors. So you're telling me he's going to come in here and beat a Dusko Todorovic? I know the one thing about Dusko has really good striking, and his takedowns are as really good as well. But the one thing Dusko doesn't have is a chin. That's the reason why people have been fading Dusko so much, and I fade him a couple times too because he can't take a punch. Honestly, he gets hit one time that's really hard, he goes to sleep. But Medina hasn't knocked anybody out since 2017, and that was a guy that was like 1-3 in his career. So Medina is just not good. I'm fading him. I don't think he's good whatsoever. So give me Dusko Todorovic. I'm really high on him. I'm probably gonna put him and Tatiana in a parlay. That I'll find one more piece probably because those are my two probably like most confident picks of the week. And yeah, so give me Dusko Todorovic. And like I said, I think Todorovic puts him away. I think Todorovic's either gonna knock him out or submit him. I think it's going to be on the floor. But the one thing about Medina is that he can take a punch. He can take a beating. That's what Dana signed him. Dana said, "I'm gonna bring this guy in because he can take a beating. He doesn't get knocked out." He fought against there's only one guy I've seen knock out Medina, and that was his last fight. And that was Arturo Gutierrez. And Arturo Gutierrez, man, that dude is a. I
Yeah,
think
he
I
hasn't
said
won
to
at all. I mean, he's only fought. I mean, based off of the one contender series he lost, and then he fought twice, and the person he fought before that was Zachary Reese,
yeah, and yeah. So
and so he lost to both of them too. I mean, this is the spot for him to win. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, but I don't see it happening at
yeah,
all. Like, I don't. I mean, you get what I mean, where it's like he's probably gets dropped if he loses this fight. So it's like they're trying to give him somebody
I
that
don't know. Dana
that.
Dana likes this guy because he can take a beating. I don't know. We'll see if he gets dropped.
But I mean, not after the last one, if that's the case, though, because if you get knocked
Well,
out
he
twice,
fought.
he's getting dropped.
He fought. That was, I say, Arturo Gutierrez. That's a little Francis Ngannou. That dude is
Yeah,
wild, man.
I
That dude.
remember watching that fight. He just knocked him out
Yeah, put
clean.
him to
Like,
sleep. Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's the dude is good at taking a beating, but it's like, and it's good. I've always told you this. The UFC has to have those fighters
Like
because
Mike Perry.
that are just entertaining, bro. They
Yeah.
want to come at you. Like the one thing I told you about this fight is that dude Medina sucks, but he is going to come at Todorovic, which is why I feel like Todorovic knocks him out because he's going to be able to counter him because he's going to be coming at him just like
Yeah,
and
and
try to.
Medina has no takedown defense. His
And
legs are
so
so
I think he
flat.
just gets
So
countered and knocked out, honestly. But it's just like I said, the one thing Dodorovic's a hard person to bet on against people that have hard power, and this dude doesn't have
he
hard
doesn't
power.
have, yeah, he doesn't
So
have the power at all. Like I said, he hasn't knocked anybody out in years. So
so I would be on the Todorovic side 100%, and then you just live with it if for some reason Medina just catches him with some wild shit. Because other than him catching him with some wild shit, Todorovic wins this on the ground, standing up, or by decision. So
yeah, and if you look at the odds, Todorovic by decisions at plus 115. It seems like a lot of people are thinking like, well, Medina can take a beating, so we're taking it by decision. So I don't think Todorovic puts him away. I think Todorovic puts him away. Like I don't think Todorovic. Hold on.
this is a perfect fight for
Hmm.
him to get a kick knockout. Like he
That
throws
dog hair in my mouth.
the throws the wildest kicks and like spinning kicks. This is
Mhm.
like the perfect fight for him to get a highlight knockout in.
Yeah, and I think the best way of attacking this one, in my opinion, is probably Todorovic in a parlay. Like I said, I'm very high on him. But the one thing I guess I could say is Todorovic by inside the distance, because what I think Todorovic's going to do, just to be smart, is come in there, take him down, and then, because I don't think he puts him away on the feet. I really don't think he puts him away on the feet, but I do believe he can take him down, either submit him or just ground and pound him until the referee eventually steps in because he's not moving at all. So Todorovic inside the distance. Let's go look at that. So I can look at that real quick.
Make sure like and subscribe, everybody.
Todorovic inside the distance a plus 160. And if you don't want to parlay him with anybody, that's probably the best way of doing it. A plus 160, because I do believe he puts him away, even if it's by submission or if it's
You said
by
plus 160 for him
plus.
inside the distance?
Yes, plus 160 for him inside the distance. To him by
Okay.
submission or knockout. So I think that's the best way of attacking this one. If you just want a straight bet and you don't want to parlay him with anybody, I think Desko Todorovic by inside the distance plus 160 is the best straight bet. All right, guys, I gotta move on to the next one because one thing about me, I got work in like an hour, so I gotta leave here soon. So we gotta rush through this a little faster. So next fight is going to be Alex Hernandez taking on Carlos Diego Ferreira. This one, guys, he was a slight underdog, but I see a lot of monies came on him. It went from him being a slight underdog to a pick 'em to now he's the favorite. So I think a lot of people are seeing what I'm seeing. I'm taking Carlos Diego Ferreira. One thing, Alex Hernandez, I know he did knock out Chase Hooper, where Chase Hooper lost me some money. Chase Hooper lost me a pretty decent amount of money. I was so mad. I was like, oh man, pissed me off. I feel like everybody in this chat right now lost some money on Chase Hooper. But Alexander Hernandez, and before he eventually just cracked Chase Hooper and put him down, which I did believe that fight was stopped a little early. There was 1 second left on the clock, and I had beef with the ref. But Chase Hooper was doing really good. Chase Hooper was landing his strikes on the outside. He was doubling up Alex Fernandez on the striking numbers. He just didn't get the fight to the floor, but he was doubling him up on the striking numbers, and then boom, he gets caught. So now he's fighting a guy in Carlos Diego Ferreira that has a good grappling game. He has decent striking, but his grappling game is really there. His wrestling is better than Chase Hooper's. Alexander Hernandez, one thing about that Mr. Carter can tell you is that I've been the Alex Hernandez guy. I've been the guy that's been like, I'm taking him. Like a lot of people faded him, I've been taking him. Like I mean, he's won 3 fights in a
We
row before
almost
Chase
picked him
Hooper won.
against Chase Hooper.
Yeah, we did. We almost did, but we just feel like Chase was eventually going to get him down, but it didn't happen. But I've been the Alex Hernandez guy, but now I just see I'm not going to bank on him anymore, especially against the Carlos Diego Ferreira that's better than Chase in my opinion, and Carlos Diego Ferreira that was training for a fight against Bobby Green, so I do believe the striking is going to be a little better because he knew he's going to have to strike a Bobby, and I just think he's eventually going to win this fight. Probably, I want to say he's going to win this fight by submission. I think he eventually gets Alex Hernandez down and ends up finishing him because one thing about Alexander Hernandez, the reason why a lot of people wasn't betting on him, and I was because Alexander Hernandez always makes a mistake. He didn't make that mistake against Chase Hooper. He knocked him out, but he always makes a mistake that puts him in a bad position. He does something dumb in the ring, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. And I think Carlos Diego Ferreira is going to win this fight. So, give me Carlos Diego Ferreira. He's already at minus 117. Like I said, a lot of money's came on him because he was a slight underdog, all the way now to a slight favorite. So give me Ferreira. I think he wins this fight. Like I said, I think he's going to do it by submission, but my best bet already is just him on the money line. You're already going to get a price tag. No reason to chase a prop on this. The over 2.5 is a minus 135. The under 2.5 is a plus 105. Ferreira by submission is a
I
plus
got the under in
600.
that. I got the under in that fight. So
You get the under.
yeah, I do. I
You
don't
think
think it
somebody gets
goes.
finished?
Yeah, I do.
So if you had to make
Just,
a pick, who do you think wins the fight? But I know you're mainly on the under, but who do you think finishes it?
um, just like you said, I'd probably lean with what you said. I'd probably stick with that. Like I said, I don't want to go too far into it because we got to keep moving. But um, yeah, I'd probably stick with what you said on that one. Hernandez is knockout or bust like most fights, and like you said, he makes dumb decisions. And the thing is he fought somebody in Chase Super that also makes really dumb decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and just looked a lot better in his last couple fights. And he just happened to go back and resort to kind of some of the dumb stuff he did in that fight that lost him the fight. And as long as you feel like Diego is a smart technical fighter and isn't gonna make those mistakes, he probably wins. So.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Moving on. Next fight, Quan Lee taking on Santiago Luna. I'm going to be taking Santiago Luna, guys. He's a minus 140. I think he wins this fight. Honestly, like Quan Lee, I see a lot of people are on him, and he's a dog. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good fighter, but I just don't think he's going to be able to beat Luna. Luna is one of these prospects that I said about kind of like Alice Pereira that Dana wants him to win. Dana's gonna want him to win this fight. So I just think Santiago Luna is gonna come in here and win this fight. Probably, I'm gonna say probably by decision. I think it's gonna go all 3 rounds, but I think Luna wins this fight. I think he's gonna get some takedowns. I think he's gonna land some strikes on Kwang Lee. Kwang Lee, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Kwang Lee. I've bet on him a few times. I took him as an underdog a couple times. I've cashed on him, but and this one, I just think this is a spot that the UFC wants Luna to win. And if I see a spot where the UFC wants somebody to win, I'm going to take them because most times if it goes to decision, they're going to get the decision. Just like a lot of prospects that Dana likes ends up getting those. I'm not saying the fights are rigged or anything, but I feel like that they go into it thinking like we want this guy, like the judges kind of see it as okay, this guy's the up and comer, this guy is like the veteran, so we're gonna give it to the up and comer to win the fight instead if it's very close. So give me Santiago Luna. I think he does it by decision. The over 2.5 is a minus 130. The under 2.5 is a plus 100. I think the over, if you think Kwang Lee wins this fight, probably the best bet on this one might be the over 2.5. I'm not gonna lie, at a minus 130 because I do believe this fight goes to decision. Either way, somebody's gonna win this fight by decision. But I think Luna wins this fight. Luna by decision is a plus 225. So if you want a plus 225 price tag, Luna by decision is the way to go, I think. But if you think Quan Lee wins this fight, Quan Lee by decision is a plus 275. But I think Luna on the money line is already a good play. It saves you from the knockout. It saves you from anything that happens. So give me Santiago Luna, and I think he probably wins this fight by decision.
Yeah, same thing as that other one we were talking about. Is I have no read on this one whatsoever.
Hmm.
I, I just come on here and help them and talk about the ones I really know. I don't do too much fight breakdown and do all the tape and stuff. He does a lot of tape and stuff, so he keeps up with a lot of these people. I just come on here to talk and bullshit with him while he breaks all his down and give you guys my opinions on which ones I do know. So yeah, I
Hmm.
wouldn't have nothing on this one.
Now, the next fight, guys, Rafa Garcia taking on Jared Gordon. This one, guys, I'm taking Jared Gordon. I think Jared Gordon's going to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to be able to take down Garcia whatever he wants. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Jared Gordon's better everywhere. I think Jared Gordon's a better wrestler. I think he has better striking. I think he has better cardio. I think Jared Gordon's honestly a really good play this week. He's a minus 225 on the price tag. So if you guys can take those numbers, I think that number might be a decent number to take him already. But if you guys believe he's going to honestly win this fight by decision, like I do, let's go look at that decision prop. Jared Gordon by decision is a minus 220, a minus 125 by decision. Kind of scares me. I don't like taking minuses on a prop, but I think the best way to attack this one is, like I said, either take Jared Gordon by decision because Jared Gordon rarely finishes anybody, and I do believe he's in fights and end up on the floor. So give me Jared Gordon. I think he wins this fight by decision, and but it might be a better maybe Zachary Reese and Jared Gordon in the two-leg parlay. That's what I think. Maybe that's the best way to attack this one because I'm very high on both those guys because I just think Jared Gordon's a better fighter all around, and I think Reese is just a better fighter all around than Dumas. So give me that. Those I'm probably gonna end up putting that parlay together. That's gonna be my pick. So yeah, like I said, Jared Gordon. I think he does it by decision.
Only thing I'd have on this one would be the Patty loss, the loss, because he
Yeah.
technically beat Patty, you know, um, um, was aged well because like if he won like everybody thinks he won, right? Which even Patty kind of thinks he won that fight, you know?
Mhm.
So it's like if you really think he won that fight, then Patty is a way better fighter than Rafa Garcia. So
Yeah.
and he has proven that. So that's why and Jared Gordon was able to beat him and so that's why I feel like I mean I know MMA math don't work like that,
Hmm.
but that would be the one take I would have on this, and I do think he wins by decision, like you said as well. So,
Yeah, but like I said, I either parlay Jared Gordon with like Zachary Reese or someone like that, or take him by this decision prop at a minus 125. Now the next fight, guys, co-main event: Rob Font taking on David Martinez.
did you
Rob Font
skip
was
one?
no, I don't.
Ga-
Oh, I did skip
Gaston.
one. Yeah, I did skip one. My bad. Let's go back real quick, guys. I skipped one fight. Kelvin Gastelum taking on Dustin Stolfutz. Guys, I'm taking this
This
one.
is one me and you talked a lot about.
Yeah,
That's why I was like,
this one scares me because I say this one kind of scares me just because it looks too obvious. Like it might be one
it
of those.
does.
It looks just like a too obvious of a pick. It looks like it's too easy. It looks like it's a great parlay piece, but I'm sitting here kind of like, do I want to get caught in a trap? But either way, I'm picking him because, like I said, it looks too obvious. It looks like he's gonna win this fight pretty easily. I'm taking Kelvin Gastelum. I think Gastelum wins this fight easily. I think he has the better cardio. I think his striking is better. I think his wrestling is better. The only thing Stolfitz is good at, really, mainly, is that jiu-jitsu game. But I don't even think it's going to get there to that point. I think Kelvin Gastelum's going to put the pressure on him, land some strikes on the top, and then eventually just stop some takedowns to win this fight by decision. I don't think Gastelum puts him away whatsoever. So I do believe this fight goes to decision because Gastelum has a chin. Gastelum doesn't really knock anybody out anymore. So I'm taking Kelvin Gastelum. I think he wins this fight by decision. If I go look at that prop real quick, Gastelum's a minus 250 on the money line. Maybe a parlay piece if you guys are high on him. Kind of like, I don't know, never mind. Just don't parlay Gastelum. I don't know. I'm gonna say that right now. Like it looks too obvious to like that he's gonna win. So I don't know. It kind of scares me. But I think the best way of attacking this fight is Gastelum by decision. Gastelum by decision is a plus 135. Gastelum doesn't really knock anybody out anymore. He tends to the point fight, keep the pressure forward. So that's the best bet I say. Gastelum wins this fight by decision, plus 135.
Yeah, you know me. I'm heavy on Gastelum. Like I said, it's older dude, so it's hard to like really put like him in a parlay. But I mean, I wouldn't even mind putting him in a parlay just because I think he's fought the better people. I think he's the better fighter. I think he wins probably all three ways. You know, I
Yeah.
think he could beat him on the ground. I think he could beat him standing up, and I think he could beat him by decision. So um, I think Stolfus is just really knockout or bust. If he doesn't get him out in that first round, in that first little barrage, I think it's going to be a long night for him. So,
Yeah, I agree, but like I said, it just scares me. Like when things are obvious, that's when things
well, I
go
mean,
bad.
Stolfus
I
could
yeah,
definitely come out there and just starch, bro. I mean, he's
yeah, but
older. They're both older, you know. So,
yeah,
like I said, I wouldn't. It could definitely be the apple pie shitter, but um, no, I still
and like you
think
said
he.
before, we were talking about it. Everybody that Stolfus has lost to, Kelvin's better than.
Oh, for
So
sure.
So I think we're both on the same thing. I think
I would
Gastelum, maybe.
take you know who I'd parlay would be, Suarez and,
I was
Gastelum.
thinking that. I was thinking Suarez, Todorovic, and Gastelum. But man, like I might. But now let's move on. Like I said, like that one, we both agree on that one. It looks kind
Mhm.
of obvious that Gaslam's just way better. Next fight, guys, co-main event: Rob Font taking on David Martinez. Rob Font was originally supposed to fight Raul Rosas Jr. That was a fight that was originally scheduled. I thought Rosas might have won that fight because just the takedowns and then the overall grappling. But Rob Font is a dog, man. Ever since Rob Font moved camps, this guy's takedown defense has gotten better. He's landing good strikes. He always has good boxing. And I'm taking Rob Font in this one. David Martinez is going to strike a Rob Font, and that's not what you want to do. If you want to have a boxing match, Rob Font's probably going to come out on top. This fight is going to be standing up. David won't shoot a takedown. Rob won't shoot a takedown. And the way to beat Rob Font, even at his age, the way you beat him is taking him down. If you strike with him, Rob Font's going to end up
Or at
winning that
least
fight.
mixing it in. You may not you
Yeah,
can knock him out, but you gotta mix it in, you know?
yeah. You can't just stand there the whole time with him.
His
So
jab is too good, bro. It
yeah,
is. Rob Font's jab is probably top 5 all time in the
yeah, bro. Yeah,
UFC,
bro
bro.
has a just his boxing game is just elite. Ask Adrian Yanez. Adrian Yanez's boxing is
Adrian
elite as
Yanez is
well.
better than David Martinez.
Yeah,
Like,
and he
I mean,
put
at
he
least I thought he
the
was,
bo-
man.
I think
Bro,
he is.
and he went downhill after that, man. You were such a big fan. I mean,
I
I know
was his
we're
boxing
going
was
left,
elite,
but
man. I but
we were big on Yanez, bro. And dude, he could not win after that. He
the
looked
only
like
fight, because I picked Adrian Yanez against Rob Font. The only fight I ever bet against Adrian Yanez, and I was right on it, was the Jonathan Martinez one because I was like, he's too heavy on his lead foot and he's gonna get his leg kicked out. Like that was the only one I was like,
Jonathan Martinez is a monster
his
kicker.
leg kicks, man, are nasty. He ended up beating him with leg kicks. But like I said, I'm taking Rob Font. I think Rob Font wins this fight by decision. I don't think he knocks out David Martinez, but I think it's gonna be a boxing match back and forth. They're gonna land their strikes, but I think Rob Font's gonna have the numbers. I think he's gonna have the more harder shot. So give me Rob Font. Rob Font by decision is a plus 120. I honestly don't think that's a good enough price tag. You might as well just take him at by the money line because his money line's a minus 115 right now. So that's
Oh,
honestly
there's the pick. Yeah, you just take Rob
you
Font
might
at
as
the
well just
pick
take
'em.
Rob Font
Yeah.
on the money line. So Rob Font's a pick. We're both seems like we're both on Rob Font, and I
Mhm.
think I said probably by decision, but just take him on the money line.
Just take the money line straight. I mean,
And now the
and
main
don't get
event.
and don't get mad if that one doesn't hit because of another old fighter. You know, it's one of
Yeah.
those cards that it's just a lot of apple pie shitters possibilities. You know,
Mhm.
but it's okay. We giving you good
It's UFC
picks though.
Noche. We have to do it.
Yeah, but
Now the
all
main
right.
event. In the main event, I see people on both sides. This one, it kind of scared me leading up to it. Like actually looking at the fight when I was leading up to the week, like a couple weeks ago when I saw this, I was like, man, that's gonna be a good fight. Now I'm at that point. I don't know if it's gonna be a good fight. I think John Silva beats Diego Lopez. I just think he's better all around fighter. Not all around, I guess you can say, because the jiu-jitsu game is going to be on Diego Lopez, but Diego's going to have to get the fight there. Diego's wrestling's not that good. John Silva showed that he can stop takedowns against the Bryce Mitchell. That's wrestling is here compared to Diego Lopez, and Bryce couldn't get him down. Bryce ended up taking the shots from John Silva, but John Silva hits very hard. He has good striking. This guy be barking at you in the ring, doing some crazy shit. And yeah, I'm taking John Silva. I think he's a minus 250, so I don't want to take that price tag. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that price tag's kind of off, but I'm taking John Silva. I think so what do you say? John Silva via Chihuahua energy. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's gonna be in there just barking at people the whole time. But John Silva's the pick. Don't get me wrong. I want to say I will parlay him with somebody, but it kind of scares me to parlay him with somebody because Diego Lopez, he did have Volk in trouble just for like one round. Like he had Volk in trouble for one round. He dropped Volk, but Volk got right back up and started putting it on him again. But give me John Silva. I think John Silva wins this fight, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think the best way to attack this fight, just looking at the numbers, best way to attack this fight, in my opinion, is the over 2.5. It's a minus 170. Diego Lopez has a good chin, very durable, and I don't know if John Silva is eventually gonna knock him out. And if he does, it might be in the later rounds
Is it
after all that.
5 rounds?
It's 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So the over 2.5 is a minus 170. I think John Silva wins. Maybe if you think John Silva wins this fight and you think he's gonna do it, I think it might be a decision victory for him. John Silva by decision is a minus 425. That's a high price tag. I don't know. Diego just doesn't get knocked out. Diego, you can take a punch, but John
You
Silva
said a
does
how
hit hard.
much?
A plus 425. John Silva
Okay,
by
because
decision.
you said minus
Oh,
425.
did I say
That is
that?
smoke.
My bad. I meant plus 425.
Uh,
So I think John Silva wins this fight. I think he's probably gonna do it. If it is, maybe like a fourth or fifth round knockout. If you let me go look at one. Let me see. Let me see this. John Silva to win the fight and round two to start. I think that's a better price tag. Round two to start and John Silva to win is a minus 145. That seems good. So I don't think he knocks out Diego in the first round. Like I said, so I think that might be the one I'm taking. John Silva to win and round two to start. I think that's the best bet for the whole entire
I'm with
fight.
you.
You got anything to say on this one?
It's just what I had told you before, really. Nothing too crazy on this one, just because it's a hard fight. I do feel like it is a very skill fight. Like it's both contender people that um are very skilled fighters. I just think the argument I made about John Silva being like that next generation of fighter is what might win him this fight. We're gonna see. That's why I said it's not something I'd be like, yeah, he's the next generation of fighter, but it's like he seems to be like that. Cosma, Ilya, like it's just they're so good at everything. It's not
Yeah.
just one thing.
And he
And s
submitted Bryce too. He didn't just knock him out. No,
that's why
that's
I
what
said
happened. I said he went to decision. No, he actually submitted Bryce. That's what he did. I can't remember.
yeah,
I
he's
forgot.
just a good all-around fighter and a great all-around fighter. So I would think that beats Diego Lopez because Diego Lopez is still that he trains with people that are that older style. He still uses that kind of older style MMA to beat you.
Yeah.
And the reason Volk was doing so good for a minute was because he could stand up with Max Holloway. He could take people down. He developed into a all-around MMA fighter where
Hmm.
some of these dudes just don't do that. They it's not how old MMA used to be. New MMA, and Ilya was the one that said all this. And to be
Yeah.
100% honest, you know me, I wasn't the biggest fan of the dude, but what he said is true. There's this new level of MMA that's kind of happening, and Cosmo kind of showed it, where he just went out there and as much as people say he doesn't know how to stand up, he just knew that that wasn't the matchup to stand up with the dude.
Hmm.
He was so good at the ground game. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to fuck you up. And the ones that are trying to take him down, he's like, no, you're not going to take me down. I'm better at standing up than you.
Yeah.
So it's just I feel like that's kind of how this plays out, you know? And
Yeah.
we'll see how it happens. I mean, I would want Diego Lopez to win just because I just like the dude, you know? I've always been the mullet, the way he acts, the way he composes himself, but I don't honestly think he wins. I think
Hmm.
Silva does it. I think what you said, if you're gonna be on John Silva, the round two to start is great because I don't
Yeah.
think he beats him in the first round. I
Yeah.
don't
I
think
don't think he knocks out Diego Lopez. I don't even know if he can knock out Diego Lopez, but if he does, it ain't gonna be in the first round, in my
I
opinion.
mean, he
I don't.
could finish him. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it just even like the Ilya shit, where it's like most those dudes, they take that first round to really get you figured out, and then
Yeah.
like the second, third, fourth round is where they're gonna
He might be barking the whole first round, so we'll see. Like you might take the first round off. But yeah, guys, we that's our full entire UFC breakdown. Right before I get out of here, I want to talk about one fight that is happening on Saturday. The fight of the probably last decade, guys. One of the biggest fights. It's going to be in boxing. I know this is UFC, but I just want to talk about that real quick. Canelo versus Crawford. That's going to be a great fight. I'm excited for it. I'm even excited for the co-main event. Colin Walsh is going to be fighting for the title against Vargas Jr. That's going to be a good fight as well. Real quick, I'm really high on Colin Walsh. So if you want to put Colin Walsh at a minus 325 in a parlay, I'm really high on Colin Walsh. Dana is promoting the event, and Colin Walsh is Dana's guy. So I
Is
think
he fighting
Dana
on this? I didn't know that.
is the co-main event. Colin Walsh is
Yeah, I
fighting for
didn't
the
know that.
title against Fernando Vargas.
I know like I know him because of him. That's the dude he
Yeah.
signed to the first fighter he signed to his like boxing thing or whatever, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I'm high on Colin Walsh. So give me Colin Walsh to win the fight at the co-main event. If you want to parlay him, put him in a parlay piece. I think Colin Walsh is a good spot to parlay him with any UFC fighter. That might be the 3-fight parlay. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Tatiana, Todorovic, Colin Walsh might be on that one. That might be the spot. But main event, guys, Canelo versus Crawford. Crawford's going up 2 weight classes to fight against Canelo. Canelo is just they're both the best right now. Those are the best 2 fighters in the world at the moment, in my opinion. Like, if you go pound for pound, I think Canelo and Crawford are like the best guys. I know Canelo lost to Bivol, but that was because Bivol was just giant compared to Canelo. But just to give you a quick pick, I'm taking Canelo. I think Canelo wins this fight. I think he's going to do it by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to knock out Bud. I don't think Bud's going to be able to knock out Canelo. I think they're both going to come stand there and trade. Whatever the over is, I think the over might be a good spot, or the fight to go decision might be a good spot, because it's going to be a competitive fight. I believe it's going to be a competitive fight. But I just think Canelo's size is going to be too much. I think Canelo's boxing defense, ever since he fought Floyd, I'm a big Floyd Mayweather fan. I've been a Floyd Mayweather fan forever. So Canelo got beat up against Floyd, and then he came back and he actually fought Floyd. And I mean, after he fought Floyd, he got beat up by Floyd and got taught a boxing lesson. He went out there in his defense. Now Canelo has a shoulder roll. Canelo uses all those things. His defense is really good, and I just think it's gonna be a great fight. And so give me Canelo. I think Canelo wins the fight by decision. If you guys, I think the best bet might be the fight to go to decision, because I don't think anybody gets knocked out. They're both durable. They're both really good. They both got good striking defense. So give me Canelo, and I think he does it by decision.
And you already know me, I'm going Bud, baby. But I'm not confident in nothing on this. Like I told you, I'm not a big boxing fan. I don't watch boxing like that. Um, I think he was saying your buddy, is it Cal that was in here?
Callback, yeah. He says
Yeah,
Canelo's the
is
lock of
big
the
on
week.
Canelo, and he said you're a real big boxing dude. So if I probably bet, I'll probably bet something Canelo wise, just because we're gonna stick
He
with
said
your betting.
he said Canelo by decision. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
so
Was like the
I'll probably do that. That's probably what I would do. But as a fan, I told you I'm more of a fan of like Bud as the person, not the boxer, the person. So it's like don't take that in with nothing like betting wise. Just I hope Bud wins because I like Bud. But besides that, I mean, it sounds like Canelo is probably going to win based off of boxing people's opinions that I've
yeah.
heard. So
But that's it, guys. I gotta get out of here. I got stuff to do today. I will have Cage Warriors out tonight. I will have UFC, where I have all my bets in the description, out tonight. I will have a short video for Canelo versus Crawford. I'll have that out tonight. More soccer's gonna be out tonight, because today was a fucking horrible soccer day. So Marseille, you better come out there and win the damn game, because you were my
what's it
lock of the
called?
day.
Just scored 1-0 and then
I
it
know. I just
finished.
saw it. I just had the update on my phone. Crazy, but like I said, guys, we're gonna have all those videos out tonight. We're gonna be doing NFL football this for the Sunday as well. We did great last Sunday. Our primetime games are kind of 50-50 right now, but did great last Sunday. We cashed out last Sunday on football. But if you guys are here, like the video, subscribe to the page, come back all the time, guys. Go check out my other videos. Like I said, Cage Warriors is gonna be out, UFC is gonna be out, LFA is already out. I'm gonna have Canelo Crawford video out later on. So I have a lot of stuff coming on, probably around 10 o'clock Pacific time tonight. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff out. And all right, guys, I'm the Wager Zone. This is Mr. Carter, UFC
Woo!
Noche breakdown. And all right, guys, I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys later on tonight with my other videos.
Have a good one, everybody.